Thank you all so much for being here, and I'm excited to kick off this part of the program and get us moving onto our subject. It is such a crucial and important issue impacting all of us here in the Upstate region. But I always want to start because I know there's people in the room for the first time with just a very brief overview about 10 at the Top and what we do. And 10 at the Top was created, really the idea and the mindset started almost a decade ago with a number of folks who said, you know what, we need an organization here in the Upstate that is thinking about issues not necessarily around economic development that the Upstate Alliance is doing in terms of marketing the region or specific things like what Upstate Forever and others do on specific issues, but how do we connect those organizations that are working on the key issues that are impacting our region today and into the future, and how do we connect them together? So our organization was formed, and we really, our mission and vision is to be an organization that encourages cooperation, collaboration, and partnerships across the Upstate region. And we believe it is when we work together that we are stronger. So we are involved in the 10 counties of the Upstate region, and our focus is on enhancing economic vitality and quality of life. In 2011, we asked, or 2010, 2011, we asked many of you and over 10,000 other people what matters most as we look towards the future of the Upstate, and we identified 5 what we call driver areas, and we focus on those 5 drivers in our mission, in our vision all the time, and have task forces and workforces, and many of you are involved in that. But really what we do with 10 at the Top, we are the regional connector. How can we build the capacity of the Upstate region? And we do it by connecting folks from across the 10 counties who are working on issues, to bring them together, to share ideas, to identify gaps, to increase efficiency, to create regional networks and cross-jurisdictional solutions. So how can we build the capacity across the Upstate? We do it, as we said, through networks, through building meetings, through task forces, through initiatives, and we also are the regional convener around making it stronger. And no, that is not my arm, unfortunately. There is the model. But when we do all those things together, we are stronger. And part of what we do is what we're doing right here. We've had since 2010 more than 450 meetings across the Upstate with over 24,000 participants, all asking, how can we work collaboratively, all working on those issues. And this forum series we started in 2012, as was mentioned, as a key component of that. And this year, we have 4 regional forums. The first one today, next one coming up on June 2nd on healthcare. Hope you will plan on attending that, and then September and November. We're very fortunate to our partners and folks who are help make all those happen. But we're also this year partnering with Upstate Forever, Upstate Alliance, the Rowley Institute, the Greater Greenville Association of Realtors, and others on the Shaping Our Future series. And you'll notice that some of these are the same events. Today is part of both of those series, and then the September 22nd event, we're going to bring in Ed McMahon, who some of you heard. He's been here in the Upstate a number of times over the years to talk about the uniqueness of communities. And those events are part of both our forum series and the Shaping Our Future series. But we have the next one coming up on May 19th, and I hope you'll plan on attending. That's going to be at the Crown Plaza. And I think it will be very good. It's in your program, a little bit more about that, the dollars and cents of development patterns. So when we were talking about the different topics that we could have for this series this year, obviously transportation and infrastructure was at the top of the list. It was without question an issue that impacts all of us. And for those who were in Greenville County, of course, last year trying to get the sales tax passed for investing in roads and infrastructure was a challenge. Other communities in our region have had similar issues, and you'll hear in a few minutes from a couple folks that is not unique to our region. That is something that is across the entire country. But as we start the conversation today, I wanted to just share a little bit about our region to set kind of the context. Most of you already know, so I'll do this very quickly. We have not raised the gas tax here in South Carolina since 1988. We're at 16 3/4 cents. We have the 4th largest state road system in the country, though we're not the 4th largest state, but that's a whole other story. This came out this past week. 11% of South Carolina bridges are structurally compromised, and 4 of the top 10, in terms of the ones that get the most volume, are right here in our region. And then the Upstate regularly ranks poorly around transit. We'll hear a little bit more about that later, and around the sprawling growth patterns in our region. So these are all issues that we know are impacting us as it relates to transportation. So it leads to really 2 key questions. The first one is, what is this really costing us around business and economic growth, around safety, around quality of life? And then the second one is, how do we overcome the failure to act? And that leads us to our 2 speakers for today, because they are involved in these conversations at a national level all the time. And we very much appreciate them. And I have to, before we start with our speakers, say that the 2 organizations, the Building America's Future and the Society of Civil Engineers, have been tremendously helpful to us. And I want to thank all of their folks who are here, Carrie and Abby, and then Emily and Brian, the staff from those organizations. We've been talking to them since November about this forum, and they have been tremendous. And all of the time and folks here today are at their expense, not ours. And we thank them very much for being here. And I think it speaks very well that they see the Upstate is a region that is prime. We are at a time where we want to do things, we just need help. And so we appreciate the opportunity to have some help, to come here and kind of share some ideas and some best practices. And first we have with us Greg DiLoretto, is past president of the American Society for Civil Engineers. He is actually from Portland, Oregon, and his bio is in your folder, and he has a career of being engaged and helping communities to get better and to do lots of great things. And so the American Society of Civil Engineers has done some great studies and reports on exactly this question of what are the costs and how can we move these things forward. And so I welcome Greg to come up to the stage and to hear his remarks.